Hello YouTube and people of the interwebs, welcome back to another video. Now, today I'm going to be discussing something which hasn't been spoken or talked about in the Whovian community for a long time, and it seems to have just been sort of forgotten about, and the hate and confusion and love and all the different emotions felt by Series 12 and Series 11 have seemed to overtake this. But today I'm going to be talking about CHIBNALL'S 5-year plan. Now, what actually is this, you might ask, and fair enough. Right, I'll cast your minds back to January of 2016. Steven Moffat, just fresh off the back of Series 9 and The Husbands of River Song, has announced he's leaving. He is leaving Doctor Who. Now that means we need a new showrunner, and the same day they announced that Chris Chibnall of Broadchurch fame is going to take over and run Doctor Who after one last run at the show from Steven Moffat. They also announced they were taking a year's break, which was a stupid idea, but you know, yeah. Along with this Chris Chibnall announcement, there were murmurs from Chibnall himself about his plan for Doctor Who. Nothing concrete, nothing special, but we know he spent 2016, 17 and, yeah, probably a bit of 18, writing his overall Doctor Who arc. So, yeah, Chibnall knows where he's going with this. The whole Timeless Children thing, it's risky, but it was always planned to be. He's not making it up as he goes along. Now, moving on to 2017, after Series 10, the best series of Doctor Who, Chibnall announces at a Comic-Con that he has what he termed the 5-year plan for Doctor Who. So, yeah, what is this plan? Well, from news articles and interviews he did, he said it was bold and risky and bound to upset some people. And he was right, because we're currently 2 seasons into the Chibnall run of Doctor Who, and The Timeless Children was the most bold, risky and controversial decision I'd say that Doctor Who has ever made. Now, one thing I'd like to draw attention to, the coincidental timing of all this, 5 years on from Series 11 would be, correct me if I'm wrong, I didn't do well in maths, but I think I can add 5. 5 years on from 2018 would be 2023. Now, what's significant about 2023? It's the 60th anniversary of Doctor Who. I don't think it's a coincidence that Chibnall's 5-year plan, starting in 2018, ending on the 60th anniversary year, I think there's got to be more behind that. So today I'm going to explore what I think will happen in Chibnall's 5-year plan. I'm going to lay out what I think the series and meaning behind the series of Chibnall's 5 years are. So, Series 11, we've seen this, it came out in October to December of 2018, and yeah, we've watched Series 11, it disappointed many viewers, including myself. It wasn't quite up to scratch, but I think Chibnall's thinking and logic behind all of this, because once again, he has planned this, and with shows like Broadchurch under his belt, he knows what he's doing and he knows where he's going. Series 11 was basically just, new viewers, come in. Welcome all. Anyone and everyone can come now and watch Doctor Who, because yes, I love Steven Moffat's era, but it had got quite inaccessible to new audiences, and Series 10 didn't pick off like it should have done. So yeah, Series 11 was basically no complications, no confusion, just bring in the new audience. It didn't really work, but I can see where he was planning and what he was aiming for. He was aiming for a fresh slate and a new start for the show. Then that brings us to Series 12, where he hit us with bombshell after bombshell. He'd got, well, in his mind, he'd secured this new audience, he'd got the classic fans on board, he'd got new fans on board, and he was going full force now, bringing the Master, Gallifrey, Jadoon, Cybermen, etc. He was unravelling his story, and we can see that the Timeless Child arc is a big thing, as it was set up in Series 11 Episode 2, The Ghost Monument.
The Timeless Child. What did you just say?
She doesn't now.
What can you see?
We see what's hidden, even from yourself.
Series 12's job was basically, you've seen the fresh take, now you're back into the confusion. Jump on board from Series 11, Series 12, you're back into the wonderful, crazy, wacky world of Doctor Who. And he sets up the Timeless Child arc. Now, I think that goes further than we're actually shown, but that's all to come later in the video. So, what does Series 13 act as? We haven't seen this series yet, and they haven't even started filming yet, but we know, and, well, presumably, it's been written and thought about. I think Series 13 will entail is more substance and mystery to the whole arc of the Timeless Child and the mysterious Gallifreyan division. I also feel like Series 13 is going to hit us out of nowhere, because if I think it is building up, like Broadchurch and things, it builds up and gives you misdirections. I think Series 13 is going to hit us with a massive bombshell of a classic villain coming back. Now, this could be a new form of Dalek, like the Black Dalek we know is coming up in Resolution of the Daleks, or what I really hope, this might just be me hoping too hard, but I think they're going to bring someone like Omega back. A massive, big reveal, and oh no, and the Doctor and co can't actually defeat this villain, and they will go on to be a big overarching thing, leading us into Series 14. Now, I think Series 14, it might not actually be a series, but I'm pretty sure it'll come out in the year 2023, the anniversary year of Doctor Who. Now, I think this is significant because all of these plots that Chibnall's been loosely throwing around, the Timeless Child, the Division, the Ruth Doctor, the Timeless Children, all of this is going to come together with that new villain, with Sacha Dhawan's Master. It's all building up to a big, big climax point. Because when you look at Chibnall's work, and, well, in Doctor Who, he takes little ideas from Russell T Davies and Stephen Moffat and the classic series and reinvents them and makes them new, like Spyfall and all this. So I think he's trying to build up to a Journey's End sort of style, like the Russell T Davies era. And that's why I think he's introduced characters like, is her name Ravio? That group from the Timeless Children. I think he introduced them to the plot so that eventually he can bring all of them back. I think that's why he has so many characters and companions. He's going to bring them all back for a big anniversary special. Now, the question on everyone's mind, is it going to be a multi-Doctor special? Yes, I think so. I think it is 50, it's definitely going to be multi-Doctors, but I think it's 50-50 between, is it going to be the Timeless Doctors and the Ruth Doctor and Jodie's Doctor, or is it going to be the fan favourite, David Tennant, Matt Smith, Capaldi, Eccleston, all of those Doctors as well? I think it's a 50-50. Obviously, I'd prefer Matt Smith, David Tennant to come back, but I don't know if that's what Chibnall's trying to do. Hopefully it is, and come on, they've got to come back for the special. So, have you noticed the recurring theme throughout both Series 11 and Series 12 of the villains getting away and escaping, or just not dying? Like Tim Shaw, the Pating, all of these villains, the two bad examples, the Skithra from Series 12, the Kassavan, the Master, Jadoon, all these villains, they don't die, there's no definitive end, they just go. Krasko, Rosa, he's just gone. I think that this could be building to the 60th anniversary, bringing all of these villains back for a massive face-off. They could be led into battle by someone like Omega to fight against the Timeless Doctors, all these Doctors, hopefully including Matt Smith, David Tennant, etc. Because I don't think Chibnall has introduced Timeless Doctors and all of this for no reason. I think they're going to serve a big story purpose, and I can just imagine tons of Doctors lining up ready to save the day. Like, I think that could be somewhere Chibnall's trying to build too. Speaking of the Timeless Child arc, alternatively, I don't think we know everything. I don't think everything is as it seems, because watching Broadchurch and other Chibnall shows, he does love to mislead the audience and confuse them and make them think one thing and then insecurely just wipe that away and go, no, actually it was this the whole time. So maybe the Doctor isn't actually the timeless child, because so far she's only learnt that she's the timeless child through the word of the Master.
The child is you. You are the timeless child.
There's been no concrete anything. So, yeah, bear that in mind. There is the theory that the Master's the timeless child. Yeah, I could see that happening, but no evidence, so I don't know. I definitely think there is something, though, about these multi-Doctors and Ruth and Jodie from Fugitive of the Judoon. I think it is building up to a point of having tons of these timeless Doctors in one place. And if they're going to do that, they've probably got to bring back... They might even go get David Bradley and Sean Pertwee to play first and third Doctor. I don't know. There's so many options that could happen for the 60th anniversary. Also, speaking of the 60th anniversary, I think it's going to be heavily rooted in Gallifrey. I think it's all building to this point with the division, with all this, where they can't just save it again because that's the Day of the Doctor 2.0. But there's many different things, I think, like narratives it could take. One really far-fetched one would be that this whole thing, this whole series has taken place in a parallel universe, because it would explain a lot of little things, like why no one on Earth seems to know anything about the, like, Daleks or aliens or whatever, when they've been invaded from the Russell T Davies and Moffat era billions of times. Maybe when the Doctor regenerated, Peter Capaldi into Jodie Whittaker, and the TARDIS crashed, the reason it crashed is it fell through a hole, a crack in space and time, similar to the Age of Steel, how the gang end up in a parallel universe. The TARDIS just happens to fall through one. They fall through into this universe, and this universe has all its new villains, and that could be a way of bringing Gallifrey back, because the original Gallifrey is still on the other side, other universe. The Master, that's why he's evil again, because Missy turned good, but this universe's Master never changed. Maybe in that parallel universe, the Doctor is the timeless child, but in our universe, there isn't a timeless child Doctor, and the Doctor is just the Doctor. That's what I'd love that to happen, because it would be such a mind, like, explosion and confusion and whatever. And maybe Captain Jack is a parallel Captain Jack, or a Captain Jack from our universe who's come through to warn the Doctor about the Lone Cyberman, etc. Maybe that's far-fetched, I don't know. Now, with this big finale episode, which is probably going to be the 60th anniversary, it could even be a series of big finale stuff, and I've played with this idea for a long time, but you could have the 60th anniversary be a series where there's one story from each Doctor. So you could have Matt Smith and Amy and Rory just have their own story, and then it all, like, at the end of each story, the Doctor is taken out of time and it's a cliffhanger, and then the next story is completely fresh, new Doctor, whatever, but the finale and big movie-long episode at the end of it all is all of the Doctors, all of the timeless Doctors coming together. Because how impactful would it be? We know Matt Smith, or let's just use Matt Smith as an example. We know he's coming back for the special, but we open episode 1 of the series, TARDIS lands, and Matt Smith just steps out of it. And there's no mention of anything weird, we just follow the 11th Doctor on another adventure, similar to how we just followed the 10th Doctor with the Queen Elizabeth I subplot in Day of the Doctor. That could work really well, but once again, that is just pure speculation. Now, my final point on all of this, I'm pretty sure Whittaker and Chibnall will leave together, because Chibnall has the 5-year plan, which will end in 2023. Yes, he could stay on, but fan reaction, Chibnall's 5-year plan, I think he's going to be going after these 5 years. Also, Jodie won't stay longer than 5 years, I don't think. She might even leave before the completion of the 5-year plan if Series 13 is her final season. I don't think it will be. I think she'll stay on till season 14. Then both her and Chibnall will leave, Jodie will regenerate, and a new Doctor takes the reins and continues the show. Alternatively, the show ends there. Yeah, that would be bad. But anyway, that brings us to the end of today's video. If you did enjoy, remember to like, comment, subscribe. You know the drill. Thank you for watching. Comment video ideas, please. Yeah, goodbye.
Don't forget to click below.
Subscribe to the Confused Adipose.